Hey guys, Loco here with patch 9.11 notes. Let's go check it out. Hey y'all, how are you doing? Have a good week? Good. Okay, Riot. No need to ask. But what are you guys changing? Janna, Yuumi, some Zack stuff, some Master Yi stuff. Janna, Yuumi, Zack, and Master Yi. Alright, that's a good enough start. Let's go. Akali. Passive energy refund decreased late, damage ratio decreased. We're lowering Akali's ability to deal consistent and sustained damage. A strength that's a huge part of her power discrepancy between the highest level of play and everyone else. You know what the fucking bullshit part of Akali in pro play is? The most bullshit part about Akali in pro play is her W and her E. Her W and her E gives her so much survivability. And if you're going to nerf Akali, so she's more balanced for pro play, and her win rate looks similar in pro play and also fucking solo queue, then you should be targeting W and E. I think W and E is absolutely where majority of her power is, for pro play at least, because it allows her to buy so much fucking time. This hits her on the energy department, which means she gets to cast less spells, less damage. It's okay. Like, these changes are okay. Akali definitely did need some nerfs. All these like mega OP flex picks do need some nerfs, but I didn't like the direction. Amumu, passive bonus, true damage increase. We're rebirding Amumu's passive buff from 9.8, choosing this line specifically because too much of his strength is tied up in his passive, and we want to keep the rest of his abilities feeling strong. Wow. What world are we living in where Amumu is getting nerfed? Like, true damage on a fucking tank champion was kind of whack though, and a lot of people were building Amumu AP Amumu, which is not the intended build, so I can see where this nerf is coming from. Overall, good change. Echo, basing attacking after E no longer delayed due to animation. Nice. So, do you guys remember whenever Echo E's and then goes in and then you attack, there's like a delay due to the animation, and then now that's getting changed. So this is it is a buff, but it's a very small buff, and it's more of a quality of life change than an actual buff. Ooh, Galio support nerf. W base damage decreased, damage ratio increased, E damage decreased. We're shifting some of Galio's baseline damage he leans on as a support into W ratio as a stronger reward for his AP building damage mid lane capability. I do think it is weird that Galio's primary position is support, not mid lane. I think Galio's definitely meant to be playing more in mid lane than support, and Galio support comes with a lot of overlap to Alistar, and he just does Alistar's job better. He's an Alistar that can push, that can AoE taunt, that has a combo just with his E. Like, Alistar's QW is basically Galio's E, and Galio has an additional taunt on top of it, and he can wave clear and push with Q, and his ultimate is also really useful. So I think Galio support is flawed in a sense that he was never meant to be played as a support, but because he's being played as a support, it's actually fucking with kind of how his abilities are functioning. Like, his abilities are too good for a support, and he should be pushed more towards mid lane. So I like these changes overall. Gragas, base health growth, attack damage increase. Increasing Gragas' early durability and helping out his early clear speed. Just making him a little bit better early game, and I think Gragas is one of the healthier junglers, so I like these changes. Ooh, Janna, these are big changes. Alright. W cooldown now scales, base damage decrease late, E cooldown now decreases when Janna CCs an enemy, cooldown decrease early, increase late, shield increased. Okay, a lot of changes, let's read through it. Right now, Janna feels like a poke mage early in the game instead of a peeling and shielding support champion. We're taking this opportunity to encourage more kind of interactions between her and everyone else than point and click harass, especially in lane, so she can get the most out of her abilities. This is better. This is definitely better. Where Janna is like, you just, in lane for Janna, you would max W, and you would just poke people with your W. And she did play like a poke support, and she was incredibly dominant in early game parts of the. In early game, she was incredibly dominant in lane because of that shit. If you can't deal with her W and she could disengage you with her Q, now they're changing Janna to be a bit more supportive, more of her power to go to E, which I like, because I hated the fucking, I hated this version of Janna. This like poke monster Janna. Jayce, Q base damage decreased late, damage ratio increased. Okay, so they're nerfing his scaling a bit, so he's still as strong early. Oh, that's nice. Jayce should be a strong early game champion that you need to snowball on. That is the identity Jayce should have. Karthus, our damage ratio decreased. Oh, it's the damage and the ratio decreased. Here's like the problem with Karthus. I'll explain like the very, very core problem with Karthus. So, AP champions come with a certain unreliability. Like AP champions, your damage is not guaranteed. It is kind of hard to put out your damage compared to AD carries where you just auto attack and your damage is almost guaranteed. Where AP champions actually have to hit their spells. Karthus is different because you're going to be like, but Loco, Karthus has a Q. How do you mean his damage isn't guaranteed? Karthus E damage and Karthus R is guaranteed damage, and when he's in the middle of your team, like, and shooting Qs, some of your Qs hit anyways. So like, he just has way too much guaranteed damage as an AP champion. I think that's like the biggest problem with Karthus. Because all the AP champions are kind of hemorrhaged by their abilities being skill shots and not being guaranteed. So AP items are incredibly strong. They're much stronger than AD items. But Karthus gets to bypass that by having so much guaranteed damage. Master E, bonus attack speed at level 1 removed. Q, isolated target damage decrease. Huh? In 9.10, we wanted to nerf Master E in average play and increase satisfaction for all players by creating opportunities for more skillful play. However, the changes were pretty neutral, and at the time seemed like they'd be more impactful due to changes to Rageblade and Conqueror. As a follow-up, we're cutting back his early attack speed and some of the isolated target damage from Alpha Strike so that he loses some of his early clear speed, but still has more reliable window of untargetability during Q. Wow, so he just got fucking 8% bonus attack speed taken away. That's a nerf. That's a heavy nerf. And then no more isolated. Rammus, passive basic attack damage flattened, our damage decrease. Rammus' damage in teamfight is too high. Fuck yeah it is. But to ensure that we're not completely making him into a limp ball, we're pulling power specifically out of his ult and passive so that he can still hurt enemies via power ball and frenzying taunt and still reflect damage while with high armor builds. Okay. I mean, this will make him less of a monster in mid game and especially when he gets on top of you, which is nice. I fucking hate champions like Rammus. Warwick, Q healing increased late, letting Warwick live the drain tanking dream a bit more. While Blood Hunt is still likely the best first max, players looking to risk it all with Jaws of Beast and bite off more than they can chew can now feast too. So you just heal more late game. No one was really playing Warwick, so I don't really care too much about this. Me. Q range indicator brightness adjusted. W now gives assist when she first attaches. E movement speed decay flattened. A lot of bug fixes. Wait, they're not nerfing? Ugh. I think Yumi's too strong right now. Controversial opinion. Yumi is too strong, even with her negative win rate. And as people learn to play Yumi, they'll realize how fucking bullshit this stupid ass champion is. Okay, it's just so a lot of bug fixes and no actual change. Yumi is shit right now. I'll bet you this. If Yumi doesn't get nerfed, Yumi will see pro play in LCS right now. Yumi's fucking good. I promise you Yumi will see pro play. Zack. Q slow decrease, cooldown decrease late, W health max damage now scales with AP. W max health damage, what? Now scales with AP. R reverted to pre-patch 7.9. What? I don't understand. We've been following some excellent conversation regarding where Zack landed after his rework in 2017. After assessing players' feedback, we ultimately decided that we went too far in pulling damage out of him in our quest for more CC Latin tank. We agree that part of Zack's pattern of diving backline and doing damage is core to who he is as a champion. Unfortunately, Zack players felt that after diving in, he wasn't able to accomplish anything more than just knocking people around. With that in mind, we're rebirding his reworked ultimate and W. So you want this fucking champion to do damage on top of having a bullshit engage? Oh my god, Riot, why? Not squishy. Zack no longer squishes himself down while charging up for 2.5 seconds, becoming unstoppable and slowing enemies standing on top of him. No longer ice cream. Zack no longer knocks back enemies and deals magic damage when quickly pressing R, and no longer scoops up enemies, damaging and carrying them to a target location when releasing R after charging. Zack now bounces 4 times on cast with a 1 second delay with each bounce. Each bounce deals damage, magic damage, and knocks up enemies for 1 second. Subsequent bounces on the same target do 50% magic damage and do not knock them up. Zack can move during Let's Bounce and gains ramping movement speed over the duration up to 50%. So you just fucking turned him into the old Zack. I thought new Zack was fine. Why the fuck do you want Zack to do damage? He's a tank. He has so much CC. This champion's definitely a fucking tank. The fuck? Riot. Why? Challenger recalls. Well, none of you. That's not going to apply to any of you. This is so you can do a rainbow recall if you have an icon. Okay. And then like some chromas and little demon Tristana. Well, that was patch 9.11. I think good changes overall. I fucking hate the Zack change. I dislike the fact they didn't actually nerf Yumi. I mean, overall, pretty good changes overall. And I wish Akali changes were a little bit better. I'm surprised they're not touching Rise, Silas, Irelia, all these like super insane solo laners though. I think these solo laners are fucking insane, and I'm shocked that Riot isn't touching like champions like Aatrox also. But we'll see where things go. Pretty light-handed patch. Alright, that's it for my 9.11. I'll see you guys later.